Hi, welcome Stewardship in Motion. Our title for this evening, First Things First, honoring God with our first fruits. Last, we talked about something foundational. We talked about order. We said that many people aren't failing financially because they lack faith. They're frustrated because they're doing good things. They're just doing them in the wrong sequence. We said that when money is handled out of order, stress is almost guaranteed, even with good intentions. And so we walked through a biblical rhythm for you, which was give first, save second, live last. And we said something powerful. Leftover based stewardship never produces peace. So tonight, we're going to go one layer deeper because understanding order is one thing, but installing it into your life, into your actual bank account, into your weekly habits, that's a completely different thing entirely. So last was about sequence. This week is going to be about priority. Who comes first? The scripture basis we're going to use, as I pull my notes up here and share with you, we're going to start out in Proverbs chapter 3, verses 9 and 10. I'm going to read this from the New International Version, and it reads, "Honor the Lord with your wealth, with the first fruits of all your crops. Then your barns will be filled to overflow, and your vats will brim over with new wine." So, how do we look at this scripture and translate it for today? Well, what I believe is what comes first in your money reveals what comes first in your head. So let me ask you a question. When money hits your account, what happens first? Do bills get paid first? Do subscriptions withdraw from your account first? Or does Amazon get honored first? Or does God? This week is not about percentages. It's about priority, because scripture doesn't say give when there's extra. It says honor first. So most believers, they don't struggle with generosity. In my belief, they struggle with order. And we tend to spend first, save second, and give last if there's anything left. And when there isn't enough, giving feels like sacrifice instead of stewardship. So here's the tension that we exist in between. We say God is first in our life, but does our money agree with that? Because Proverbs doesn't say honor the Lord with what's left. It says with the first fruits. First means first. So what does honoring God first actually look like in real life? Not emotionally, not theoretically, practically. So let me introduce you to the first fruits principle. Step number one, you're looking at it here in my PowerPoint. First is a decision, not a feeling. Honor is not about your mood, it's about order. You don't wait until you feel abundant, you decide what comes first. And what does this mean to us practically? Giving is planned before spending. It also should be automated. It shouldn't be occasional. And most of all, it should be intentional, not reactive. If giving depends on what's left, it will always feel like loss. If giving is first, it then becomes alignment. Let's move on to the second point. First builds trust. When you honor God first, you're declaring, my provision is not my paycheck, and it's not my provider either. This builds spiritual trust, financial discipline, and emotional freedom, because something powerful happens when you put God first. It recalibrates your relationship with money. Money stops being the master. It then becomes a tool. And here's the deeper truth. First fruits isn't about God needing your money. It's about you needing order. Let's move on to our third point. First creates structure. Many people think giving is spontaneous. Biblically, it's structured. If you practice the 10-10-80 principle that we teach here in the Minding Our Business Academy, the first 10%, that's giving. The second 10%, that's saving, keeping some of what you've earned. Now, that 80% that's left over, that is where we live. Our lifestyle comes out of the last 80%. That structure creates margin, peace, predictability, and most of all, growth. Honor creates order, and order is what creates the peace. And peace, that simply just begins to compound. So in review, let's recap. I know this was short. It was just some quick nuggets I wanted you to think about. Proverbs teaches honor first. We learned that first is a decision. First builds trust, and first creates structure. The question isn't, can I afford to give first? The question is, what happens when I don't? Because what happens first shapes everything that follows after. So if you've never reordered your money around first fruits, this is your moment, not emotionally, structurally. Now, inside Minding Our Business Academy, we help you build systems that allow you to give first, save second, and contain your living within the 80%. If you want help installing that structure that honors God and builds peace, God is first in your finances, peace stops being fragile, and stewardship stops being seasonal. So again, thank you for the time that you've spent with us here. I hope this encouraged you and enriched you, and continue to follow us for more faith-fueled stewardship wisdom. Thanks for joining us at the MOB Academy. Now stop scrolling and go mind your business.